and welcome to my video series, The Heroine's Journey. It's time to find your happiness, heroine. How do I do that? And how do I help you do that? Is by sharing stories about me sometimes. And that's what today is going to be about, this video, about a challenge that I've decided to take on. So where to begin? Well, I'm going to start by saying I'm going to blame it on NaNoWriMo, National November Novel Writing Month. NaNoWriMo. Here's how it started. And let me just say, I'm not even going to tell my family, or I haven't told them yet, or my friends, that I'm going to be doing what I'm going to be telling you about that I'm going to be doing. I'm not telling them because they'll try to steer me away. They will be threshold guardians. They will tell me for my own benefit that this is not a good idea, that I'm too busy. You know, all those warning voices that I have also internally that warn you when you're about to do something out of your ordinary life, out of your comfort zone. So I can just, you're too busy. They'll say, you can't do this. You don't have time. What about us? You don't even have time for us. What's the point? So what's ordinary life and threshold guardians? Well, they're points. They're terms we use in the heroine's journey to describe points on the journey. So ordinary life is where you typically hang out, what you're doing before you receive a call to make a change in your life. So ordinary life is where you predominantly hang out, what you do in that ordinary life, where you are when you receive a call to make a change. So for me, and you probably know this by now if you've listened to any of these, is my ordinary life is that I'm a life coach. I work with women who are interested, want to grow and develop to their next level, whatever that might be. And I coach them about leaving their comfort zones because that's what you have to do. And I use the metaphor of the heroine's journey, which is all about leaving your comfort zone and going into the unknown. And the unknown is what challenges you and tests you. And when you end up, you've learned a ton, you're changed, you're transformed, even though it might be difficult. It's a path that has been laid out for us for thousands of years. And it's been in our literature. Stories are about the heroes and the heroines' journey, but it's also our story, our real life heroines' journey. And it's found all over the world. It's something that unites us because we all go through this pattern called the heroines' or the hero's journey. And what's the call? I said that the call takes you out of ordinary life, takes you on the journey. Well, that's when you get an urge to do something, to make a change in your life. And it can come from within you, or it can come externally. Like something happens to you that makes you realize you've got to make a change. And people have different ideas where these calls come from. I believe they come from our soul. Our soul knows what we need to do in order to grow, to evolve. And our soul wants us to do that. It kind of like comparing it to a tree, how a tree knows when it's time to put out a branch here or a branch there. Well, a call for humans is like an inner tree, like our inner tree, saying it's time to grow up and out. And here's how. So I'm telling you all this, and you're probably wondering, so do you think you're getting a call, Susanna? Yes. Yes, I do. I do. And who from? Well, from NaNoWriMo. No, Rimo. National Novel Writing Month. What is this, Susanna? What is this? Well, let me give you a bit more background. When I sat down to think about what I wanted to say to you today, I thought of the more teachery kind of things I could talk about, which is often what I do, teaching about the heroine's journey and tools that help you navigate your own journey, like artist states and morning pages. And these concepts come from the author Julia Cameron. And I was going to talk to you about the artist state. And so what is that? When you do morning pages, which I've written and spoken to you about already, which are 3 stream of consciousness, handwritten pages, first thing every morning to develop. These are tools for enhancing, developing your creativity. The morning pages are a way of putting out to the universe your concerns, your gripes, your complaints, your wishes, your dreams. Everything goes into morning pages. Everything is acceptable to go into morning pages. Well, the second tool that she says are the most important to recovering, enhancing your creativity, she calls it really actually a creative spiritual awakening, is the artist state, a festive solo undertaking to explore something that excites or interests us. Unlike the morning pages, she says, that are more like work, the artist day is play, and that makes it much harder for people to do. So the artist state is just going and doing something fun. We have to be receptive with an artist state. We set our dial to receive, she says. We execute an artist state by being open-minded and open to inspiration. So as I was sitting in front of my computer and thinking, well, what would that be for me? What would be fun? What could I do? And I just kept thinking of NaNoWriMo. And so let me explain a bit more about that. I've been doing morning pages every single day since August 15th. And I know that some of you listening have been doing them for years and years. And I had done them before for a long period of time, and then I had lapsed. And so when I wrote about it to tell you about it, I started doing it again. So I've been doing them since August 15th. For 50 days, I've been writing 3 stream of consciousness pages, longhand first thing in the morning. And it's the first tool that Julia Cameron, in her classic award-winning book, The Artist's Way, recommends. So, okay, it's supposed to give you creative urges, and that's what's happened. And also thinking about wanting to have fun and not feeling like being teachery, I felt like having fun, like doing something different in this video with you, like going for it, like being on the edge of a precipice and taking a leap, which is what the heroine's journey is about. Let me tell you more about this thing, NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. I have been intrigued with it actually for a long time. The first time I even heard about it was from a woman named Angela, who worked in a company that I was doing some consulting for. We were having coffee, and I was floored when she told me she had just finished writing a novel in a month. I couldn't believe it. I was so impressed. And I asked her a lot about it. She told me about this. And that, again, was 8 or 10 years ago. Fast forward to this year, 2021. And in the meantime, I've written my own nonfiction book, You Are a Heroine, retelling of the hero's journey, which took me 5 years. I've started a blog teaching about the heroine's journey, related topics for real life heroines. I founded the school for real life heroines with an online course that I wrote, Your Epic Journey of Transformation. So you might think, yes, Susanna, you've been writing. I've done a lot of writing, but not novel writing, not for fun writing. Though, yes, I've written some very fun little stories, I think, for my grandchildren. I think they would tell you that they like them too. And I have a podcast. And I just interviewed a woman, Kathy Swar, for my podcast. And Kathy, you guessed it, also wrote a novel in a month as part of NaNoWriMo, which is being prepared right now for publication. And it's called Sophie. So talk about knocking, internal knocking. Oh my gosh. Angela and now Kathy. So here's from the NaNoWriMo website. Every story matters. Let's start writing yours. I'm all about storytelling. So of course that would capture me. More description. Writing a novel alone can be difficult, even for seasoned writers. NaNoWriMo helps you track your progress, set milestones, connect with other writers in a vast community, and participate in events that are designed to make sure you finish your novel. Oh, and best of all, it's free. So I read that, and the knocking of my inner call to do this has been getting louder and louder. And my own threshold guardians, my inner voices, are saying, you don't have the time, Susanna, you won't be able to do it, so you will fail. You can't write 50,000 words in 1 month. You are the hostess for 20 people for Thanksgiving in November. What are you thinking? But then this happened. I started over the weekend planning to do what I have done before, a comfort zone challenge. I haven't done it in maybe 4 or 5 years. And it's a 7-week challenge to the people on my email list, on my social channels, to the in-person group of real life heroines who've been meeting monthly with me. I decided to invite everyone to the 7-week comfort zone challenge, which will debut towards the end of October. And in that, I invite them to find something that will challenge them, to help exercise that leaving your comfort zone muscle. And you do it with other people. We would do it together. We wouldn't be alone. And it would be for 7 weeks. And wouldn't that be fun? And I'm planning it and figuring out the dates. And then I realized I had the perfect thing to do with them. NaNoWriMo. We could share how we're doing and give each other support. And I would give it and get it in doing this crazy write a novel in a month thing. So I went back to learn more about this November writing a novel thing. And here's more from their website. National Novel Writing Month began in 1999 as a daunting but straightforward challenge to write 50,000 words of a novel in 30 days. Now, each year on November 1st, hundreds of thousands of people around the world begin to write, determined to end the month with 50,000 words of a brand new novel. They enter the month as elementary school teachers, mechanics, or stay-at-home parents. They leave novelists. And just so you know, it's not a draft that's judged or edited. You just get it down. You just write your thoughts, and they give you some prep that you can do beforehand, or you don't even have to do it, such as writing an outline ahead of time. But what really resonated with their approach with me is my mother was an English teacher, and she helped people learn how to write. And she helped me. And what she would say is the first thing is just get it down, Susanna. You can always go back and revise and edit. The hardest part is just getting it down. And she would encourage me, almost like to do it stream of consciousness, just write and write and write your ideas and your thoughts, and you can organize it later. So I wondered, can I do this? Can I fit it in with all the other things that I'm doing, like the blog, the podcast, the video, like this one, and the challenge? A rational person would seriously doubt it. But a non-rational, very right-brained, morning-paged person who listens to her inner voice callings, she would not listen to those threshold guardians. She would step right up to that threshold, to the edge, the threshold that separates ordinary life from the heroine's journey, and she would make the leap. So what does that mean in my case? That means signing up. I did. Thank you for joining me on this video, and I hope you'll join me on the next one, and I will keep you posted. And I hope you will check out doing the 7-week challenge, comfort zone challenge with me. It would be great to have you all doing that with me together. Okay, remember, you are a heroine.